Okay, here we go via Michael Chammas on 100% Footy. The NRL is investigating a potential salary cap breach at the Newcastle Knights in relation to a third-party deal involving superstar fullback Kalen Ponga. NRL spokesperson, the NRL is aware of the matter and is reviewing it. The Knights spokesperson, all third parties are registered with the NRL. There's no issue with Kalen Ponga's contract, and anything to do with third parties remain between the player and his agent to resolve. So it seems as though the Knights have just gone arm's length.
Yep.
Player agent and Kalen can sort it out.
Is this going to jeopardise his contract? I wonder if he's got a clause in there saying, well, if I'm not paid, I don't know how much money it is.
Yeah.
But if he's not owed the full whack, does that mean he can say, well, guess what? I'm a free agent.
Jimmy Smith makes a good point, and he talks about, well, these third-party deals, you don't really see them advertised, do you?
No.
Like if I'm a business and I'm saying, here's $400,000 for Brian Fletcher,
yeah,
I want to be able to bloody sell Brian Fletcher everywhere and say, why
but
do
you
we
might
not see that?
Well, you might take him to your own events. You might take him
but
to
can you be doing ads and stuff like that? Why don't we see that?
I don't know. Maybe because they can't be a sponsor of the NRL. They can't be a sponsor of the NRL, for one.
Right.
They can't be a sponsor of the club. But I'm pretty sure that the NRL has to sign off on it, on the third party.
Right.
So what's happened 4 years ago, they said it was sweet. So what's happened in the last 4 years? Has this third party now a sponsor of the club?
Well, we don't have the full detail, but has he not been paid? Has that been the issue?
That was the original red flag.
So his dad, is that right?
Or his dad's his manager.
Yeah.
So
his dad has gone to the NRL complaining about it, has he?
Went to the NRL.
And this is when flag of the red variety.
Correct.
Yes.
Because then the Integrity Commission looked into it.
Wow.
And said, well, hang on, maybe this company was, when he signed 4 years ago, wasn't a sponsor, because you've got to be at arm's length.
Yep.
Maybe in 4 years they've just slowly crept in, and now they're a sponsor, and they've gone,
Wow, that could easily happen. You could see how that could happen.
You got to ring them. You got to ring Andrew Abdo and say,
Is Andrew there, please?
Andrew, I just
want to run something by you. The Knights coach, speaking about Newcastle, Adam O'Brien, claims a lack of player welfare from the NRL is a contributing factor to the alarming increase in hamstring injuries, which will rob Magic Round of multiple star players. So he says this, you can't deny it, every team is decimated with soft tissue injuries, namely hamstrings at the end of the day. There's too many injuries. We've got our showpiece coming up, and that many players aren't available for it. I tell you what.
Well, wouldn't that be
on the clubs?
Yeah.
I think so.
Wouldn't that be, well, it's not the NRL's fault.
I know that he was blown up at the start of the season, and he came out and said, we need a rest, because they had this very, very busy schedule. I don't know if that's sort of a swipe at that, but my young bloke, a really good way to look at the injuries, well, obviously the casualty ward through NRL, but the young bloke is on the super coach, and a lot of the young kids are. It's flying, that stuff, Brian.
Yeah.
And he went through all the injury list, and, mate, it was just endless.
Yeah.
It just didn't stop. As we said yesterday, so it was Brian Seeney, who's the NRL physio. He was on with Vossi and Breen. It was a very, very good chat. He said that hamstring injuries usually is about 24 per year. But we're already at 20 for this season already.
What does he put it down to?
Well, he said largely fatigue on heavy surfaces, basically, right? Also, ball in play. There's more ball in play, a few rule changes, those sorts of things. But he said that injuries per week has always sat between 12 or 13 injuries. So an injury being someone who can't play the next week.
Yep.
It's just crept a bit to about 13 and a half. So we're still getting similar amount of injuries. But the thing is, it's skewing heavily towards hamstrings.
Yeah, and playmakers.
And big names. That's what's exacerbating it.
Have you done a hemi?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a hemi.
I did a hemi, but not running. It was like hyperextended. Lottie Takiri jumped on my back, and I did the splits.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was the worst.
Have you never done one running?
Well, after that, I did.
Yeah.
Then I'd go all the time.
That's the thing. That's the problem that Cleary's got at the moment.
Acupuncture. Got to get into a little bit of the ancient medicine.
Really?
Yep.
Just a shout out too for my sister-in-law who's doing it tough at the moment. She's got this. They're trying to. She's a bit crook.
Yeah.
And she said it could be a massage. Sometimes massage can send toxins the wrong way. Apparently,
Correct.
Have you heard of that?
Yep, definitely. The roll.
So since she's had the massage, she started to feel crook.
Well, I have heard that the rolling things, those rolling mats or the balls.
Yes.
They call them rollers.
Yeah.
And they've got spikes on them. You sort of roll on your legs. Well, that is if you've got toxins in your leg, like if you just say you got a cork, right?
Yep.
and there's all that bad blood in there that's obviously not great. When you roll it, it can go to other parts of the body.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what's happened because we were there with Mother's Day on night, and she just sort of laid down and was crook. And anyway, she's going to be good.
You're right.
1300 01 1170. David Ricky on Adam O'Brien's comments with Breakfast with Vossi and Brandy.
A couple of key factors that the Newcastle Knights team have gone through over this season, and describing it as amateurish as far as the off-field treatment goes, and has highlighted the fact that a lot of their travel arrangements, getting back to the team hotel in Auckland at 11 o'clock for dinner before getting up at 4 o'clock the next morning to fly out. Talking about short turnarounds, talking about the travel arrangements, and talking obviously about soft tissue injuries, which is gripping the game at this point in time, that the game needs to be better. In relation to away games and when you play next, in the draw. Talking to a couple of coaches, senior coaches over the weekend also, one of the main concerns from their point of view is the inability to put the training loads into the players during the pre-season due to the increasing shortened pre-seasons.
Okay, Bron, we're going to get this gig, this draw. Canada's under siege.
Yeah.
Canada is out. Bears Head and Sugar will be doing the draw next year.
Okay.
They're under the pump.
Well, just give us 18 teams and it's a piece of piss.
Yep. So we're getting rid of Canada.
They're gone.
We're getting rid of the hammy experts over in the United States.
Bill
Knowles.
Ease off.
We'll do the one shop. We'll do hamstrings and draws.
Yeah.
That'll be our niche.
I can do. I'll just bring my acupuncture kit in.
Yep.
Any bad hemis, Tommy, if you're out there,
Yeah.
I'll get your hemi right.
That's right.
I've got a guy.
Yep.
He's a bit of a strange cat. It's in Darlinghurst too.
That's fine.
It's in an old, and you got to go right down to his dungeon.
Yeah.
And he plugs like alligator clips onto your body.
Oh.
And then you get the currents going through.
Yeah. That's
So
our
you
man.
control it.
Yep.
I don't know whether it was the
Oh,
placebo.
you can control the action.
It's Jamboree.
Really?
So what was his name? Daniel.
Look how proud Brooksy gets when we talk about Jamboree.
So it was one of my weirdest experiences because he used to get around in what's the karate outfit? Is that a gi? What's a karate outfit? Gi, yes. Is it
Kimono?
Gi?
A gi.
Yeah.
Gi.
So
It's a gi.
and I asked him. I said,
Adam.
were you ever
Andrew.
were you ever into karate? And I just made small talk. He goes, no. I just find him really comfortable. Daniel. What was his surname? Anywho. If you've got a bad hemi, go and see Daniel.
Okay, well, that'll be part of our little thing. Jack Whiten, by the way, where is he in the Origin conversation? Well, here's what he had to say.
He opened up talks again, and then to shut it down, it's a big call, but I've got nothing to prove also. And as I said, I believe it's in safe hands with the young kids there, so that's where I'm looking at it.
You know what? He just screams, absolutely screams from the Patrick rafters. He's a good bloke, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, terrific fella.
And playing good footy, I reckon, in a well-beaten side. We interviewed Jamal Fogarty the other day.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, unbeknownst to us, in the back of the YouTube, Jack Whiten slides in. So Jamal Fogarty was at Jack's place at the time of the interview.
Oh,
Yeah.
because he's injured.
Yeah.
I still believe that he'll play some sort of part in the Origin, maybe game 3.
No, I reckon he's
You
a
reckon
man of
he's-
his word. I think he's content.
Is he-
He said he...
No, it's not a crow.
No.
I'm not allowed to do crows anymore. Brooksy had a go at me on Twitter. He's in fighting with me on Twitter.
Oh, Brooksy versus Twitter.
Yeah, no, versus me.
Was there another episode?
He just said, mate, Fletch, stop with the crows. But if... and by the way, the Zach Lomax thing, I'm not picking him in my side. Someone said, Fletch, he's not doing it. What's he saying here? Oh, yeah, Fletch, Lomax on the wing, not so sure for Origin. He has some great meters and points, etc., but defence on the wing, not so good. Has had a lot of misreads as he learns defending on the wing. Dragons' right side defence has conceded way more points on the left side. Cheers, Simon.
They have. They've
From
conceded
Killaman.
almost double.
I'm not putting him in. He's not on my team. I'm
No,
just saying
I'm
what I'm
on
hearing.
Team Joseph too, Brian. Give me a bit of Team Joseph love.
Yeah, we're not going to get him.
Yes.
Imagine that. Imagine just going balls with that big knee.
Well, mate, put him in. I don't care that he's going to rah-rah.
Neither do I.
How do we know Angus is not going there? We don't know.
Well, that's another little story for you, but I won't go on with that. This came here before from Jason at Strathfield. Fletch and Joel, sorry. Have you seen what's going on Twitter with the mole, Tony Adams? No, I have not.
What's happened there?
What has happened there, Brooks?
Can somebody fill us in what's happened there?
We don't know either. We don't know.
Let me go to his. He's saying that he's leaked photos, screenshots of. Do tell, Brooks.
I was on X earlier, surprisingly enough.
Of course you were.
And there was a screenshot of a DM between the Mole and Angus Crichton. So people were blowing up that there was
fisticuffs, like they're going at each
Oh,
other.
it wasn't so much that. I think it was the fact that there was a DM posted.
What do you mean?
You know, like a screenshot of a DM.
Right,
Yeah.
but what is it? A picture? Or what is it?
A picture. Yeah, a picture of the conversation that the two of them were having.
Oh,
And then people were like, you shouldn't be posting DMs of.
you mean a screenshot of the thread?
As
They
a
weren't
tweet.
having a conversation.
It was a previous conversation a
Right.
couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and the post was of that conversation in the DMs. Does it make sense? Yeah, DMs have been posted.
Well, hang on. I got one here. I'm just looking at the Mole thing. He's got Adam Reynolds. Is it really Adam Reynolds? I don't know. It says Mole. I'll be Mole. Mole says, "Come home, bro. All is forgiven." Adam Reynolds, if it's really Adam Reynolds, smiley emoji, laughing, and then he says, "Harry not happy." Adam Reynolds, Harry is never happy.
What?
Good point. Well, we're not privy to that, but
Who's Harry?
Well,
I don't know.
privy to
But isn't that a bit out of line?
You can't. Well, I've not
Like, if
seen
I'm-
it.
if
but
I'm a player-
you can't screenshot private messages,
No.
and not just relating to journalists. I don't think anyone full stop can do that.
But if I'm a
DMs stay in the DMs.
But if I'm a player, why would you trust a journo who leaks your photos?
It is. That's the point.
is
here,
that what
right?
they're blowing up a bit?
I think that's
Oh well,
it.
there's a case for that. To be fair,
But what's the blow up with Angus Crichton? Someone ring in so I can.
There was a conversation with Angus Crichton and
But-
the Mole
but
that
what's
was posted.
Yeah, but what's the context of the conversation?
Yeah.
It was about a contract, the previous contract he signed.
Right.
Back in 2019, I think it was.
Okay.
And there was a bit of a conversation about what he should be getting and what it was, and Angus was talking about his contract, and it was posted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well,
Plenty more news to get to 1300 01 1170 or text 0457 736 736.